Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jai Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jagannath Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra. Jai Jai Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Haribo. Jai Vishnupad Brahmansa Parivrajacharya Stotra Sata Shri Srimati Divine Grace Lavai Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Shlabopad Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Sata Shri Srimati Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Shlabopad Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण प्रभु गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप श्री मायपुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माँ यमुना माई की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution ki jai. The most merciful Lordship Shri Shri Gaunithai ki jai. The most merciful Lordship Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ji ki jai. The most merciful Lordship Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Bunda ki jai. Thai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama-sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 12, entitled Dhruva Maharaj Goes Back to Godhead. Text number 39. Gambhira Vego Animisham Gambhira Vego Animisham Jyotisham Chakramahitam Jyotisham Chakramahitam Yasmin Bhravati Kauravya Yasmin Bhramati Kauravya Medhyam Iva Gavam Ganaha Medhyam iva gavam ganaha Gambhira vego nimisham Jyotisham chakramahitam Yashmin Brahmati Kauravya Medhyam iva gavam ganaha Gambhira vego nimisham Jyotisham chakramahitam Yasmin Brahmati Kauravya Medhyam iva gavam ganaha Gambhira vego nimisham Jyotisham chakramahitam Yasmin Brahmati Kauravya Medhyam iva gavam ganaha Gambhira vego animisham Jyotisham chakramahitam Yasmin Brahmati Kauravya Medhyam iva gavam ganaha Gambhira vego nimisham Jyotisham chakramahitam Yasmin Brahmati Kauravya Medhyam iva gavam ganaha. Any Matajis? Gambhira Vegaha, with great force and speed. Animisham, unceasingly. Jyotisham, of luminaries. Chakram, spear. Ahitam, connected. Yasmin, around which Brahmati encircles. Kauravya, O Vidura, Medhyam, a central pole. Iva, as Gavam, of bulls. Ganaha, a herd. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Saint Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, descendant of Kuru, as a herd of bulls circumambulates a central pole on their right side, all the luminaries within the universal sky unceasingly circumambulate the abode of Dhruva Maharaj with great force and speed. Please repeat. Saint Maitreya continued, My dear Vidura, descendant of Kuru, as a herd of bulls circumambulates a central pole on their right side, all the luminaries within the universal sky unceasingly circumambulate the abode of Dhruva Maharaj with great force and speed. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Each and every planet within the universe travel at a very high speed. From a statement in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is understood that even the sun travels 16,000 miles in a second. And from Brahma Samhita we understand from the sloka, Yachakshuresa Savita Sakala Grahanam, that the sun is considered to be the eye of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda. And it also has a specific orbit within which it circles. Similarly, all other planets have their specific orbits, but together all of them encircle the pole star or Dhruvaloka. When Dhruva Maharaj is situated at the summit of the three worlds, when Dhruva Maharaj is situated at the summit of the three worlds, we can only imagine how highly exalted the actual position of a devotee is, and certainly we can not even conceive how exalted is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. जय श्री श्री गौनिथाय की जय, श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन जी की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र महाराज की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरोभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं, यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणाम्। So after Dhruva Maharaj ascended to this planet called Dhruva Loka, or you can say it's one of the Vaikuntha Lokas, Maitreya is telling Vidura that how all the other planets are circumambulating this planet. So he is establishing the position of the devotee of the Lord, how a devotee of the Lord is so exalted that everyone respectfully circumambulates such a devotee of the Lord. Circumambulation is a sign of respect and subordination. We every day circumambulate Tulasi Maharani, we every day circumambulate the deities. Why do we do that? We are expressing our respect and subordination to that person. So, circumambulation in Sanskrit is called pradakshina. Pradakshina means, pra means moving around. Dakshina means you keep that person on your right side. That is why it is called pradakshina. When you keep that person on the left side and then circumambulate, that is not called pradakshina, it is not very respectful. So you know where you will find that respectful persons are circumambulated from left side. It's always clockwise. Clockwise came because of pradakshina. Not that, pradakshina came after clockwise. The whole clock movement is based on this pradakshina. So that's a sign of respect, sign of subordination, that you see, yachakshuresa savita sakalagrahanam raja samasta suramurti rasesha teja yasyajñaya brahmati sambhruta kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. How all the exalted personalities in this universe, they're all moving about with great speed, circumambulating their superior. And who is the supreme of all the superiors? Krishna. So, one may question that, here all these personalities are circumambulating Dhruva Maharaj or Dhruva's planet, pole star. So how is that? Everybody should be circumambulating the Supreme Lord. But the point is, devotees also are circumambulating the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So just by circumambulating a devotee, You're not doing anything different, but actually circumambulating the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is non-different from circumambulating the Supreme Lord. Sometimes we find the demigod worshippers, they go to Navagraha temple. There are Navagrahas are there. So they very hastily circumambulate the Navagrahas, without knowing that those Navagrahas are also circumambulating the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the idea is that how a devotee is respected by everyone because of a devotee's submission to the personality of Godhead. That's what we can see here in Dhruva Maharaj's case. And by doing so, a devotee surpasses all the effects of time. It is mentioned here, Yachakshuresa savita sakala grahanam raja samasta suramurti rasesha teja yasyajnaya sambhruti kala chakro. Kala chakra, he escapes the kala chakra. By letting sun circumambulate around him, he's escaping the kala chakra. What does kala chakra do? And what did Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Kalosmi sarva kshayakaram. That everything I destroy or diminish as the time passes. That's what we see in this world. Everything, as the time progresses, everything is diminished here. But in the spiritual world, as time progresses, everything is increasing. Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamruta swadanam. Everything is increasing with respect to time. That means what? There is no effect of time. There is no effect of time as the effect of time is working in the material world. You can say effect of time is increasing things. But here the effect of time is decreasing things. One of the effect of time is that time unfolds our karmic reactions through the mesh of three modes of material nature. That's what time does. Many times that we see how people not study, they're always unsteady with respect to time. Suddenly something comes and that person gets bewildered, acts in a very different way than he was acting for quite some time. We have seen that in our own behavior, also in the behavior of many others. Why does that happen? That happens because that Kala Prabhava is there. That means Guna Prabhava is there. His karmic reactions are unfolded at that particular time. And if he is not carefully guarded by the protection of the Lord through the agency of his devotee, he will be subjected to tribulation. This is what we have to carefully consider. When we should never think that we are out of Maya. As long as we are in this material world, there is always chance to be subjected to Maya, even though you may be very, very Krishna conscious. Because we don't know what is our karmic background is, whether it is good or bad, or positive or negative. We don't know, karma or vikarma. So, one should not think that I am out of the clutches of Maya, out of clutches of the time. Time is supreme. There is no difference between time and Krishna. So for Kala Prabhava, everybody is subjected to Kala Prabhava. Even the pure devotees are also subjected to Kala Prabhava. If not Guna Prabhava, Kala Prabhava. Sometimes Guna Prabhava comes through Kala Prabhava for those conditioned souls. For those who are not conditioned souls also, Kala Prabhava will come. But that Kala Prabhava is the direct supervision of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like when when all the Pandavas after the Kurukshetra battle, they attended to Bhishma Dev by decorating themselves with armors, with kiritas and all this, because he wanted to see them like that as kings. So Bhishma Dev was speaking to the Pandavas, Aho kashtam aho anyayam yadyuyam dharmanandanaha jivitam narhata klesham vipradharma achyutashraya. Not for even a moment that you have not given up these three principles. What are those three principles? Vipra, dharma, achyuta ashraya. You always kept yourself under the direction of Brahmanas. You always followed the dharmic principles, and you have always taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If someone constantly does these three, how is that one can be influenced by many difficulties? In his view, Pandavas have gone through so many tribulations. They don't deserve such tribulations. Na arhata klesham. You don't deserve. Because you are not ordinary devotees. You are not controlled by the karmic reactions. Because you have no karmic reactions. You are the pure devotees of the Lord. You are completely malleable in the hands of God. So there is absolutely no question of karma for you. Unlike all of us or many of us. We are not subordinate to the laws of God. Sometimes we follow, sometimes we don't follow. So when we don't follow the laws of God, we are bound by karma. And we are bound by the karmic reactions through the influence of time. But Pandavas are not like that. Pandavas were always subordinate and they're submissive to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even in the midst of greatest challenges that they had faced. Who can imagine? Their wife is insulted in the big assembly hall in front of many others. They are cheated on a gambling match twice. All the kingdom was taken away forcibly. We don't even leave five rupees if somebody takes away 5 rupees from us. Do we? We become very upset and we try to fight with such person. What to speak of our wife is taken away or disrespected or whatever it is. So, they acted like aggressors. The Kauravas acted as aggressors towards Pandavas. So, with all these things, difficulties that they have gone through, they never complained. So, if someone says, how can such difficulties come to devotees? Devotees are not subjected to karma. So that is answered by Bhishma Dev. If this is not the product of your karma, then this must be given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is personally subjecting you to go through all these things. Then why would the Supreme Lord subject His very dear devotees to go through all these difficulties? So that the devotees' beautiful qualities come out very beautifully, very wonderfully. Just like you take a diamond and then you try to rub the diamond against a harsh, hard surface. What happens? The diamond shines. Diamond shines. Similarly, when the devotees are subjected through difficulties, material difficulties, what comes out shiningly is their dependency on the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes out. They don't take false shelters. They don't take shelter of their relatives, friends, money, influence, kingdom, this and that and that. They only take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is only the infallible shelter. Every other shelter is called a fallible shelter. So, to prove that his devotees will never take shelter of anything material, sometimes Lord subjects his pure devotees through difficulties. That's what Bhishma is establishing by speaking to Pandavas. You have done no mistake. You're all pure devotees of the Lord. How can you say because the Supreme Lord is residing in your house, leaving his own family members? Yadus, he has left Yadus and he is staying in your house. Narada was speaking like this to Yudhishthira Maharaj, because Yudhishthira Maharaj, after hearing Prahlad Maharaj's story, Yudhishthira Maharaj was glorifying Prahlad Maharaj. At the same time, he was feeling, I'm not even a devotee. See, whenever some devotees speak like this, it's not that they are comparing. They feel so low in comparison with any other devotee. It is to bring out their own humility. They say that. It's not that they want to dominate the other devotee and then that's why they make such a statement. It's not born out of such a desire. It's born out of humility. It's born out of humility. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj was expressing like this, just to pacify Yudhishthira Maharaj, Narada Muni is speaking like this. Bhuri Bhaga, there is one sloka, you remember the sloka? Nyuyam Ruloke Bata Bhuri Bhaga. I don't remember the full sloka, but that first sentence I remember that. Nyuyam Ruloke Bata Bhuri Bhaga. The great sages, they come to your house and stay with you because the Supreme Lord comes and stays with you. You see, even to have association of a great saintly person, it is very difficult, but such sages are coming regularly and staying in your house because the Lord is staying in your house. Who can speak about the glories? Who can speak about the good fortune that you have? Yudhishthira, you are talking about Prahlad Maharaj, but you see your own good fortune. So these devotees are this class of devotees we are talking about, or Bhishma Dev is talking about. You have gone through all these difficulties. That is because the Kala Prabhava is there. And what is that Kala Prabhava? The Kala Prabhava is nothing but the order of the Supreme Lord. So you are not subjected to any karmic reactions. So, why we are discussing all that? We are talking about all the you see, it's very beautiful arrangement of the Lord. We talk about astrology. Astrology means what? Graha, Bala or Graha Dosha. That is what is astrology is. Depending on the constellation of different planets, different things happen to you. You go to an astrologer, he will tell you, Shani is sitting there, that is why you are going through all this. Or someone else is sitting there, that's why you are going through. And you will go through this period for some more time. And then they will never tell you that, this is how your life is going to be. Because these grahas are constantly moving. So, bad period or good period is not going to be with you all the time. If good period has passed, bad period will come. If bad period is past, good period will come. Because they are all moving about. So that is what astrology is about. So why should we bother about these moving grahas? Because they are not actually, giving you, they are not only keeping you in the center, you are actually, you are affected by these grahas, by their different movements. And you are not the reference point. You means we are not the reference point. Their reference point is their superior and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, you see the science of this. The graha movement dictates different things for us. And if someone goes beyond these graha movements, like Dhruva Maharaj has gone beyond these Dhruva movements, these graha movements, rather, the grahas have become subservient to this pole star. So that means it is very clear that there is no Kala dosha, there is no Graha dosha, there is no Karma dosha. He is beyond all these doshas. Because he has gone, he has ascended beyond all these, planets. Now that is the exalted position of a devotee. When he reaches Vaikuntha, in Vaikuntha, every other graha is circumambulating that Vaikuntha only. So, that is what he is saying. Narayana parasarve nakutashana bibhyati swarga apavarga narakeshu apitulyada darshanaha. Those who are Narayana parasarve, those who are completely surrendered to Lord Narayana, Lord Krishna, Vasudeva parayanaha, Narayana parayanaha, agam dhunvanti kartsyena niharam iva bhaskaraha, Vasudeva parayanaha. So whether you are Vasudeva parayana, Narayana parasarve, both are same, then one will not be subjected to any fears. Na kutasyana bibhyati. That person will never be fearful because there is no scope for him to be fearful because he has completely taken shelter of the Supreme Lord. Bhaja hure mana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charana Aravindare. Why bhaya comes? Bhaya comes when you have done something mistake. What is a mistake? The original mistake is leaving the shelter of the Supreme Lord. That's the original mistake. And from that mistake comes all the other mistakes. One after the other, one after the other. But if that original mistake is rectified, that we take shelter of the Supreme Lord back again, then all the other mistakes are taken care of. All the other mistakes. No matter whether you are born in a very low family, Suchi hoy, Muchi hoy, Krishna bhaja paraha. Suchi hoy, Muchi hoy, Krishna bhaja paraha. Whether you are Suchi or Muchi, it doesn't matter. Suchi means born in high family. Muchi means born in low family. But if you become a Krishna bhaja, if you are devotee of Krishna, paraha, you have ascended. All the effects. Such assurance, how many times it is mentioned? Kiba vipra kiba nyasi sudra kena nois, ei Krishna tattva veta sei guru hoy. Or Shat karma nipuno vipro mantra tantra visharadaha avaishnavo gurur nashyad vaishnava swapacho guruhu. Whether even if you are born in a dog eaters family, but if you actually become a Vishnu Bhakta, you ascend all these limitations. In many, many places it is mentioned. All the scriptures are talking about this only. So many references. Aho bata swapacho gariyan yajjigvagre vartate nama tubhyam te pustapaste juhu sansurarya brahmanuchur nama grananti ete. That if anyone is vibrating the Harinam on the tip of his tongue, he is considered to be the greater than all the following personalities. Yajjigvagre vartate nama tubhyam tepus tapaste. Those who have done so many austerities and penances, those who have visited many holy places, taken bath in holy waters, those who have recited the Vedas with greatest pronunciation, matra, all these personalities, Aryans, the best of the people who are born in Aryan families, all of these people are, they are no comparison with a devotee. So this is what is mentioned in the scripture. And it is established. Scientifically it is established. It's not simply somebody saying like this, but scientifically it's established. Even by modern science it is established. That all these planets are circumambulating this planet of Dhruvaloka. Dhruva is the pure devotee of the Lord. So this is the position of the devotee. So very clear that we are not devotees. I mean, if we have any misconception that we are a devotee, look at who is circumambulating you or whom you are circumambulating. We are circumambulating so many other things, no? Dhanam Dehi, Janam Dehi, or so many other things that we are circumambulating. So that means we are not devotees. We are devotees in making, not yet fully devotees. Devotees in making means still yet to become pure devotees of the Lord. Unless we remove the false shelters. Nate viduhu swardagatim hi Vishno durashrayaye bahirardhamaninaha. Unless we give up false shelters and take only shelter of Krishna, we cannot be called as pure devotees of the Lord. So whenever it is mentioned devotee, devotee, Vaishnava, Vaishnava, it is not referring to those people like us. It is referring to those devotees like Dhruva or Prahlada, such great devotees, pure devotees, those who have fully taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, who have given up all kinds of false shelters. That is the standard of a devotee. So we should never claim to be devotees. We should means those who have still struggling with false shelters should not claim, because that's a disrespect to the position of a Vaishnava. Vaishnava means he is pure, completely pure. He is not affected by anything material. Ihayasya harer dasyer karmana manasa gira nikilasvapi avastasu jivan muktasya uchyate. By his words, by his actions, by his thoughts, he is completely dedicated to the Hare Dasya, completely dedicated to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is what is a Vaishnava, that is what is a devotee is. So we should always aspire to become a devotee. Not claim to be a devotee, but aspire to be a devotee. We are always aspiring. We should call ourselves as aspiring devotees. It's not a bad position, by the way. Aspiring to be a devotee is as good as being a devotee. But you have to really aspire to be a devotee. One interesting incident, in Prabhupada's Leela. Prabhupada was in San Francisco. He was going for morning walk and one reporter came. Swamiji, you established a society called International Society? Yes. So what is this society? Prabhupada's answer is, this society is about pure devotees. To make ordinary people into pure devotees. This is his answer. Oh, so how many pure devotees you have? Prabhupada called the devotee, how many people have joined our organization? He called his secretary. And he said some number. Prabhupada said, we have these many pure devotees. Kaha? Where? That means Prabhupada meant that if you are following a pure devotee, try to follow a pure devotee purely, you are also called pure devotee. But the standard of pure devotion is this. This is the standard of pure devotion. So, by the way, if you have seen how, if you have heard how Dhruva went back to Godhead, he was not in haste. When the Vaikuntha plane came, he was not rushing. Like, people rush towards the, compartment, railway compartment, general bogie. You have seen that how people get into general bogie. He was not doing like that. He went and took bath. He paid obeisances to all the respectful personalities. And then he prepared himself to get into the aeroplane by stepping on the head of the death personified and entered into the plane. He was not in rush because he is very confident. So he has no fear whatsoever of death. Everybody is fearful of death except a devotee. Devotee never fears death. When we speak about death means we are also speaking about the other aspects of death which come along with death. That is old age, disease. They are all the corollaries of death. So devotee is never affected by these death or its corollaries. So Dhruva Maharaj is very confident. He jumped into the plane. So, very beautifully, Srila Prabhupada is giving us this understanding that how just by becoming a devotee of Krishna, you negate all the effects of not just Kali Yuga, but you negate the effects of the all kinds of graha doshas, karma doshas, or whatever doshas that one may have, and the limitations of one's own birth, family, the material position that one is in. As it is mentioned, uh, if one is, what is that? Jati Shastram, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya, Jati Shastram Japas Tapas, Apranasya Dehasya Mundanam Lokaranjanam. You may be very exalted, you may claim to be, born in a very great family, you may have a lot of intelligence to study scriptures, you may quote so many slokas, you may be born in a very aristocratic or pure family, or you may have a lot of wealth or bodily beauty. All these things may be there, but they're all decorations of the dead body if you don't have Bhagavad Bhakti. So this is very clear. So all these things will become embellishments to a devotee. But without these things, a devotee is in no way in less position. Devotee is always devotee, irrespective of all these things. Just like the cobbler. The cobbler was a great devotee. He was a great devotee. He didn't have any of these things. He is not born in a great family, he doesn't have any great understanding of the scriptures, neither he has a lot of money, nor he has a bodily beauty. But he's dancing when he came to know that Lord Narayana is inserting an elephant through the eye of a needle. He's dancing in great ecstasy. He became an object of affection by Narada Muni, great devotee like Narada Muni. So, the conclusion is that don't aspire for those things which are temporary in nature. Aspire to become a devotee of the Lord. Then by the mercy of the Lord, you will be ascended. You will be taken to that position. What position? The position where you go and you will never return. Yad gatva nanivartante tadhama paramam mama. Sometimes people want to know, stay high for some time by psychological drugs. When Prabhupada went to US, some of these devotees, they were explaining their experiences of taking drugs. Swamiji, we also felt sometime that we are in a very high position. How? By taking drugs, we felt that we are in high position. Prabhupada said, can you stay high forever? No. As soon as the drug effect has gone down, you feel like as if you have been thrown away or buried. Buried. That's an effect. So Prabhupada said, I will teach you how to stay high forever. How to stay high forever. By being a devotee of Krishna, one can stay high forever. So that is what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. That is what our acharyas, current acharyas, the previous acharyas, all the scriptures are teaching us. That if you identify your connection with Supreme Krishna, Supreme Lord Krishna, then you will negate the effects of all these things. All these things. So-called so many things which we are influenced by. That's the lesson. Any questions? Anybody has any comments? All right. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.